and Tripti. Yes, Tripti.
Yes, ma'am, I am good, and at present I feel like more energetic to talk anyone.
Sorry, didn't get you. Your voice is not coming clear.
Ma'am, I said कि I'm good, and at present I feel more energetic.
You should always feel energetic. Perfect. So your presentations are ready with case study.
Yes, ma'am.
You have created a presentation, or you are just going to talk verbally about it.
I'm perfectly.
All of you verbally.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me open the case study here. Case study is on laptop. So any confusion in understanding the case study? So no one asked me a question except Vanchika. Nobody reached out to me to know anything else about the case. Right? This is the case study we shared.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So let's go to the questions. So before we talk about questions, let's talk about what do you understand by the case study? What do you think are the problems in general, according to you? Whatever you have studied in manpower planning lectures, what according to you are the major problems in this case?
Ma'am, may I?
Yeah, please. Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. The major problem which I encountered was the labor turnover, which is decreasing, which is increasing. Which is increasing a lot. Means a good proportion of workers were leaving the job, and that was one of the problem. And also rising competition, because so many hotels again at the same place were coming up. So again, that was also a problem. So yeah.
Okay. So rising competition is which factor in manpower planning? Comes under what factors? Internal, external, government, what exactly?
External external problem.
Correct. So it is an external factor. So this case study is a wholesome case study to give you an example of what exactly is missing in this, manpower planning. What are the various components of manpower planning, which is very essential for creating a complete plan of how many people would be required, what exactly are we going to do to hire these people, what kind of troubles and barriers can come into this picture. Right? So that chefs getting better salaries, or they can ask for ekdam muh manga daam mang sakte hain apne liye, na? So that is the kind of negotiations they were able to do. So all these problems basically comes in real life also, in real pictures. And this is a real life case. We just changed the name of the hotel. Yeah. Anybody else who would like to share? Vanchika, Garvita, what are your thoughts? No thoughts? Dipti? ये सारी पढ़ाई नहीं है ना, सिर्फ क्वेश्चन के आंसर दे देते हैं, ऐसा प्रिपेयर किया है ऐसा है? Without reading case studies properly, you cannot answer the questions also. You have to understand this entire thing in detail before you actually end up solving this case studies. Right. So, like Apurva said that there are few things which is mentioned in the case. So how we generally, we used to solve case studies is like, we used to highlight the points. For example, 60% of room were at sold rack price. So then currently the hotel has 240 twin rooms. Then आ जाता है आपका competitive pressures and strategy responses. Exactly क्या चल रहा है company के अंदर, what are the problems within the organization. So we'll take a note of internal factors affecting the manpower planning and then external factors affecting the manpower planning. And how do we going to resolve these things? Then labor turnover, like you said, then staff profile. So this is the entire profile we gave you to the extent that everybody's ages is also written out there. Right? Now let's come to the questions. So what is the answer for question number 1?
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, Apurva.
Ma'am, so the very first question was ki what will be the impact of external recruitment, means the management staff is getting recruited from outside. So ma'am, the very first thing which I feel ki if a person is getting recruited from outside, suppose the management staff, so the employees which are inside, first of all, they will not connect so much with the staffs which are getting recruited from outside, means they don't have that much of they'll not have that much of compliance with them. And maybe they'll also have a feeling that ki, okay, if suppose a person again, whoever will be recruited, he'll be recruited on the basis of some skills. So they can, first of all, they can think, okay, he is coming from outside. So again, maybe the employees inside may think that again my promotion would be hampered, my promotion or my salary increment could be hampered if somebody is coming from outside, they could take our place. So this can also be a thing. And ma'am, suppose the management staffs include HRs also. So HRs have to, or the staff management, they have to recruit people. They have to, again, not just recruitment, but they have to retain them also. So so as to retain them, again, they should be aware of the concerns of the employees. They should know them fully. And if they are getting recruited from outside, so again, they are not able to get connected with them that much. And also ma'am, organizational commitment is a thing which should lack. And organizational commitment is basically how much you are engaged with the company or wherever you are working. So once you are coming from outside, you are not, means suddenly you won't get connected with the company. अचानक से नहीं कनेक्ट हो जाएंगे, समय लगेगा, तो उस समय के लिए मे बी प्रोडक्टिविटी थोड़ी कम हो जाएगी. एंड लास्ट पॉइंट विच आई हैड मेंशन्ड मैम, कि सपोज फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर पर्पस the employee is recruited from outside, and suppose the employee who is inside, they are finding that ki, okay, for the purpose for which he was recruited, he is not doing that much, he is not reaching the bar. So again, some political things would come out ki matlab thoda jealousy ya fir, ma'am, sorry for the background.
That happens when we are at home.
So ma'am, so yeah, they'll start feeling jealous और कि अरे मतलब ये तो काम कर भी नहीं पा रहे हैं फिर भी इनको लाया गया, या फिर these kind of things will start happening in the company. So yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Good. Any other points, Vanshika, Tripti?
Yes, ma'am. As Apurva said, she mentioned mostly all of the points. And I think the employees who are existing in the organization, their motivation also loses because they aren't being selected as the manager in the managerial position, and someone else from outside is being recruited. So it brings a negative feedback to the organization.
Correct. So what should the company be doing about it?
They can provide them training for the position, because they know about the environment more, they have experience there, and they can make it better. And if someone new comes, that person, he or she will take some time to adjust, and plus there will be extra cost added to the training and things like that. So yes, ma'am, that's the point which I'll mention.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Tripti? You're on mute, I guess. We're not able to hear you. Unmute yourself. You're on mute. There is some problem in your audio there. Connect the device to your computer again, and then it might.
Ma'am,
Yeah, better. No, again lost.
so it will be more beneficial for.
Your voice is coming in between and then it is going. We heard you for a second, and then it's gone. It's okay. Take your time. You can just plug it, unplug it again till the time we can talk to Gavita. Gavita, you have anything to talk? I know you were not there in the last class, so it might take some time to understand, but why not? Try it.
Recruiting externally may impact employee morale, especially if employee expect to progress at company.
Mhm.
The outside hire can feel like missed opportunity. It is
Right.
important to discuss the organization reason for external recruitment to help these employees concerned.
Correct. Yeah. Good point. So, what can the company do in order to do this?
Ma'am, can I speak now?
Yes, we can speak now.
Yes, ma'am. I want to mention one point, which is कि if we recruit someone from outside, it will be good because if he has come from outside, then he must seen and read about many other organizations. So he and she will have a good idea of what should be done to take the hotel forward.
Yes, very good point. Very good. I like when somebody brings a totally different point of view. So that's a good point of view. If we can get somebody from outside, then obviously this person brings in fresh ideas, good practices, something that they have seen. They can make a comparison. What is not happening in capital hotel, but happening in other hotels. So that is also a good practice to do. As far as morale of the employees is concerned, then we can always do. We talked about in manpower planning one particular jargon, we call it succession planning and career development. So it is very important for you all to start using these jargons now. And the things that you explained, both Vanchika and Apurva talked about that particular thing, the training of the staff so that they can take managerial position. Now, what do we call this training? And the entire process is known as succession planning. When you are helping your own employees to take over a bigger role. It can be a leadership position in the company, it can be a larger managerial role, so that these people can actually perform not in terms of just individual performer, but also can manage the entire team. And the best part about succession planning is that it brings a lot of motivation and morale to the other employees. It actually opens up an area that in company is taking good care of us, and we can all increase our career, our growth, our development. Everything is happening within the organization itself. And yes, few people should be hired from outside for the same thing that Tripti said, that it's very important to bring in best practices in the organization, different point of views, different kind of things, because culturally, every organization becomes a comfort zone, gets into a comfort zone. So to take them out of that comfort zone, to take them out or to bring a new perspective, sometimes it becomes important that somebody new is hired from outside, especially at leadership managerial role. Right? So that's the first answer. All right, very good. Very well done. So let's go to the second question. Due to the current situation of the local labor market, it is difficult to recruit chefs. So now it's a problem of the top chefs. What are you going to do about it?
Ma'am, the first part of the question is about the bargaining power, which I asked you.
Hmm.
So I think the bargaining power will be definitely high since there is a post for chef and there's a shortage of skilled chefs.
Hmm.
But assuming that the standard and reputation of the hotel is good, so it is still negotiable. But the bargaining power would be high. And apart from that, um, this in the second part of question, providing further trainings and adding incentives and non-monetary benefits will somehow attract these chefs.
So what are you going to do? Suppose you are the HR manager, you know that chefs are asking for good money. What are you going to do in that case? and you know that you need them.
Ma'am,
Mhm.
may I tell?
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, we can talk to them that first of all we can maybe we can do the negotiations. Our hotel is very reputed, and okay, ma'am, for the first 6 months, like suppose we have like we want to attract them in our hotel, so for the first 6 months, since you said that day that is the period up to which they discover that whether this place is workable or not. So for that period we should provide them a handsome, again it should be continued as well, but that time, ma'am, wait, I have to admit Tripti.
I'll do it.
Okay, ma'am, so for that case, we'll first of all we'll provide them a handsome salary, then we'll assure them of the job stability, then life insurance also, these things we can give, then defined contribution pension plans. Then we can also say them tell that we will be providing them profit sharing, like whatever the hotel will have profit we could share that also, and paid sick leaves also we'll be giving them. And ma'am, see, again for the 6 months we have kept them, but again the retention parts get important, that how to retain them in the organization. So ma'am, if it is said that they need four chefs are required, again hiring four chef is difficult, but again if you have to hire one very good chef, so you can hire one very good chef, and you can first of all you can train, even you are having managerial skills, you can provide the chef also with the managerial skills, and again he'll be the leader of the chef association or the chefs, and he'll also help. Again, see, I am a person, I'm not, my background is not chef, or I'm not the chef. I'll tell you something and you are a chef, but again a chef will tell something to a chef that will be more, that will have more impact. So again we can train that one leader, we can train one chef as a leader, and we can teach him also the managerial skills, and he will have means he'll have an impact over them. So that is also, and also ma'am, good environment and casual clothing, that okay you can wear some comfortable clothes while cooking, these things we can offer them. And again we'll have to, again profit sharing we can is the better thing which will attract them. And we can also say that we can also provide them, ma'am, again we can provide them with some workshops of internationally renowned chefs, so that will help them in what you said, succession, that will come under the succession planning. So yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, good. Okay. So different point of view that, if no, not different point of view, just to give you a little idea that chefs are do have a category in the hotels. So there is a chief chef which is there, and then there are sous chefs who are assistant to those chefs, right? Generally, the chief is also called executive chef in maximum major hotels, larger hotels. And yes, they have the leadership skills, and that is the reason why they become executive chefs in the organization, because they have to run the entire kitchen. And most of the chefs in entire world are 99%, 95% are very aggressive in nature. They become like that because they have to get the work done during a very, very minimum period of time. That's the thing. Secondly, that you said that, see, when you are reading about a new organized, new industry, so hospitality is a totally different kind of an industry, right? That's the reason why we brought in. So this time, like we are giving you a case study of a hotel. Next time, we might give you a case study of something different altogether. Right? So when you are solving the case study, it is also good to read about what exactly is happening in the industry. Right? A little bit idea. It will increase your knowledge, see, because HR remains same everywhere, right? In all industries. We can, the best part about HR and finance people is that they can actually move industry to industry, and the work will still remain the same. But yes, we need to understand how these industries work. What are the major roles and responsibilities people have to play? What is the kind of competitions these people will have to face outside? Right? So anybody else who wants to talk about the second question?
Yes, ma'am. I want to add more point.
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the management should ma'am, to attract the chefs, To attract the chef, the management should give awards to the chefs like Chef of the Month so that it makes a friendly competition among them.
Very good. Yeah.
And ma'am, hotels should provide them insurance and some cases in their chef which are given by the customers as a tip for good quality food.
That
In my
happens
opinion, ma'am.
everywhere. That happens everywhere. So the tips and service tax, which generally they charge 10%, it basically goes to the entire hospitality staff. People who are cooking, people who are serving. That is being divided into.
They can also have retired chefs as trainers to train new staff that would attract younger trainees.
Yeah, very good thing. So, they should actually bring in people who can become external consultants, who can become, external chefs, can give advices, can actually bring in their experience and expertise and overall with the entire thing. Yeah, so that's a good thing. Anything else that you can do to attract chefs in the hotel? Okay, as an HR, it's really good to get very creative into this role. So your creativity comes to play when it comes to retaining and attracting good talent. What best you can bring in? You read about various things. You read about different kind of things. What is happening internationally? What is happening in good organization? What are the good practices we can bring into our? And then you can get into those ideas. So like Tripti said, rewards can be given. So chef of the month, chef of the week. Yeah, generally most of the hotels have this particular thing that they do. What more can we do to bring them into the employee insurance is a good idea. Yes. What else? Other than salary, what motivates us?
Ma'am, there could be feedbacks given time to time to the chefs.
You can give feedbacks to them. But generally, as I said, most chefs are very aggressive in nature. So they generally don't take that feedbacks. I have worked in majority of the hotels, seen Villa and all that. Not taking the name on YouTube, should not be taking the brand names. But yeah, most of the things, very few chefs you will find who are really of good quality, working in maximum good hotels, are very humble in nature. Very few of them. उनकी जॉब ऐसा हो जाता है कि that they become very high temperament, especially during their job. Other than that, they might be really good. So yeah, maybe something like finding out what exactly motivates each one of them, because again everybody's motivation is different. Obviously, apart from the salaries and profits and tips, there is something more that we can provide. If they have a family, why not give them a family accommodation? The hotel is that great, right? Most hotels provide accommodations to their staff. It's like a 24/7 kind of a job. Sometimes you need to come and do work in odd hours. So very good hotels have this kind of practice that they provide accommodation for family when you can get them. You can also provide education facilities for their children. Not the entire education sponsored by this office or hotel, but maybe some part of it, subsidized kind of thing. If somebody is planning to send their children to hostels or maybe in good colleges outside India, then why not to give them that help as a loan? And that loan, these kind of loans will help the employee to stay in the hotel for longer period of time, stay in the organization for longer period of time. They become automatically loyal. They become automatically good towards the organization because 5 साल के लिए loan दे दिया था. So education loan जब company ने दे दिया instead of bank, so then the employee stays with that organization. And you can give it on subsidized rates. So जैसे बैंक interest rate ज़्यादा लगाता है 12-15%, companies generally give it for 5-6%. So not really putting too much of burden on it. So these are few ideas that generally happens. You can also research about various ideas how you can retain employees, and we'll come to that part. We'll talk about it also in detail. Okay, so next question is, I heard that you were finding it difficult to solve this question. क्यों? सबसे easy था. The housekeeping staff are usually idle for 2 hours, right? This is if you see from their time management. Correct. Now, out of which 25 people are also permanent payrolls of the company. They are working permanently. They are hired by the company directly. The rest of them comes on and off whenever the need is there, whenever the requirements are there. So, what should the hotel do in order to incur this cost of wages? Given to these employees. Can we do something? Let me take a look at this sheet. Here. We are talking about these staff. 25. Housekeeping supervisors can be there are 25 people. And generally they sit idle for 2-3 hours in between. What can we do about it?
And these staff members can be trained to cater kitchen requirements
Correct.
in the time of rush hour.
Right. And not just kitchen requirements can be anywhere. They can be used in customer service, they can be used in catering, they can be used in kitchen staff, anywhere. Yeah. So they can be trained to do multiple jobs so that that 3 hours which they are idle or 2 hours where they are idle, it can be compensated with. और क्या कर सकते हैं?
Their working hours can be reduced.
Working hours can be reduced because salary reduced हो जाएगा ना. 8 hours is the normal hours. 8 to 9 hours is the normal working hours as per Government of India. So if you reduce the number of hours, the salary will automatically be reduced. Then what will happen? They will not work with you for a longer period of time.
And with extension of twin rooms, these workers will have less idle time, provided the new staff is not hired.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
With the extension of twin rooms from 240 to 345, this staff will be able to have less idle time, provided it further staff is not hired.
Okay. Apurva, no thoughts on this one?
No, ma'am. Means already said. I had thought ki they can work in different departments, but I thought this will be a silly answer, so I didn't count it.
No, it's not a silly answer. Nothing is silly in HR. See, it's a very creative field. Other than the formulas and models, there is so much of the best part about HR is too much of creativity you can bring. Right? I feel marketing department and HR departments are two departments where creativity बहुत दिखाते हैं. You can do so much of things. Right from designing, if you're a graphic designer, you can put in those designs. Different kind of things that you can bring into the organization. So many different things. See now, if you see in this sheet, too many times we have written the age. I mean, in every what do you call it category, every employee category, we have written the ages of people as well. So do you think having housekeeping staff who are over 60 is good to have in the organization? Because over a period of time, because this job is basically very manual work kind of a job, right? You have to put in your physical labor into doing different kind of things, hospitality staff, housekeeping staff generally क्या करता है hospital or hotels के अंदर? According to you, what do you understand by this? That what would be the housekeeping staff would be doing in the hotel?
Ma'am, cleaning and providing food.
Providing food is not housekeeping. Providing food is catering supervisors, catering staff.
Cleaning and stuff can be added.
Yeah, so cleaning के लिए इतने staff थोड़ी ना रखेंगे, है ना? और भी कुछ करते हो? That's why I said कि understanding industry is so important. So who makes your bed in the hotels? Who comes and cleans the bed? Who comes and cleans the washrooms? These are the people who does that, right? With the housekeeping staff. Their job is to ensure that every room looks like the new one every day. So even if you have booked a hotel for 5 days, every morning they will come and clean the hotel, their room, right? New bed sheets, cleaning bed sheets, putting them into wash. So many different things. Cleaning entire hotel, cleaning your wardrobes, cleaning everything, cleaning toilet, making sure if something shampoo is over, then put in the bottle, new bottle, all those things. So this is the housekeeping job. And because if you can see, it is mentioned in the case study that there are more than 200 hotel rooms. So 25 people is working in those 200 rooms to ensure that every room is clean every time when the people leaves. Why they hired so many people? And that's why I'm saying that it's a very physical labor which is required to do this job. So it's always good that the organization should not keep more than 2 or 3 members who are over the age of 60. They should retire them. Now it's time that they have already served with the organization for quite some time. Because generally, in most of the organizations, 60 is the age when we retire. That's the age by government rules and regulations. So why not retire them and bring in more energetic staff? Because it's not really a very skilled kind of a thing. So you can train these people in doing these activities. So what will happen is the cost will be less when you bring in fresh people. Somebody who has reached the age of 60 in your company and has been working for 20 years would be at higher salary. And if you bring in fresher in doing the same job, would be at less salary. So that's how we can cut the costs. And we are not doing any injustice towards that. We are just telling them that it's time that they have served the organization for a long period of time, so they can take the retirement. In 1 or 2 cases where you feel or where the HR feels or the company feels that people really need some work to do so that they can run their family, then in those cases you can make a exception and let them work in the organization. Correct? And then you can put them on hourly basis kind of thing. Not instead of 8 hours job, here you can do is you can put them into 4 hours job as a consultant. You come for 4 hours, do your work and go. That way your hourly wage will be reduced. And that's what the question is all about. Right? All right. So let's come to the fourth question. Fourth question is, what are your inputs as a strategic HR partner for this hotel? Now, अभी तक हम जो कर रहे थे वो हम HR manager की तरह सोच रहे थे. Now you have to think from the strategic point of view. How can they improve their situation using job analysis and workforce planning?
Improve whose situation? The hotel's situation.
Yeah.
Right.
The overall situation, whatever problems there are.
Okay, ma'am. So the one of the major problem in this hotel is the first of all the turnover, high rate of turnover, which has increased in past 2 years by 25%. Earlier it was 10%, and now it is 25%. And when it was 10%, that time half of the people were leaving the job due to the turnovers were half of the turnover was due to the retirement. But now only 1/5 is due to retirement, and there were and the other portion is not due to retirement. So again, we can encounter that there is something to be done about it. So the very first thing which can be, there are 2 factors on basis of which turnover is decided. First of all, job satisfaction, and another one is organizational commitment. Because if job satisfaction won't be there, so the workers won't retain in the company. And once they get organizationally committed, so again they treat their company, or they'll treat the hotel as a part of their life. They'll get connected to it. So in order to do that, I can do I can start getting more connected with the employees. For example, I can give individuals some responsibilities according to their caliber, or sometimes also more than caliber, so that they can learn something and keep an eye over them. I can also give I can start communicating with them more to know them, and once they are done with their responsibilities in a better way, I can start rewarding them excellence. Then also yes, ma'am. And I can also means I can also train them. The training for the you said ki succession planning would also be a thing. So yeah, ma'am. All this.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Anybody else?
Yes, ma'am. I think we should organize weekly or monthly meeting to know about what's going on in the organization and where our organization stands.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And one thing, give gifts to the employee on the festival.
Okay. Or what else can be done? Anshika, Shreya, think from strategy point, using job analysis in picture. You understood what job analysis is? Writing down properly what exactly is the skill and the competency required to do a job. What kind of people you want to bring into the organization. Design that job analysis in a manner that you can, hire freshers from direct hospitality institutes, like top hotel management institutes. You can train them, you can give them that kind of training. Best part of hiring people in hotel industry at a junior level is that they don't pay too much of salary. Salaries across everywhere, entire world is very less for the freshers. First 2 years, hardly hoteliers make any money. It's only after 2 years of training, hardcore training in the entire function of how the hotel industry works, then they start getting good payments, good salary. So one idea is to bring in freshers and interns to work in the hotel from top institutes. Save the money. And then second is job analysis ko we can use it so that their skills can be utilized in a manner that it doesn't really hamper you. Find out what kind of salaries the competitors are paying, because the labor turnover which has gone high in this particular case is purely because a lot of hotels has come up in that area. So that means you have to fight the competition. When you have to fight the competition, what you need to do? You need to again bring in different kind of facilities. You have to give them something different which other people are not doing. So first is to find out what exactly the competitors are giving to their employees, and either give more salary than them or bring in different other motivation factors. Employee insurance, education, facilities to stay, send them on a holiday, different kind of things. Correct? So this is the answer to this. And now workforce planning can be put into thing is you've understood this, I hope, right? So we talked about how manpower planning happens in the organization is purely considering the right kind of skill set and competency. तो उसके लिए सबसे पहले एचआर स्ट्रैटेजिक एचआर में क्या करना पड़ता है, हमें हमें एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर क्रिएट करना पड़ता है. You have to create the structure which is hierarchy wise, that these three things are talking about what are the people who will come in, what kind of role and responsibility. So suppose वाइस प्रेसिडेंट्स हैं कंपनी के, उनके रोल्स आप प्रॉपर्ली अच्छे से डिफाइन करोगे कि करना क्या करना है, एंड देन यू विल रिव्यू देम ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम कि एग्जैक्टली यही काम कर भी रहे हैं नहीं कर रहे हैं. Not wait for 7 months, 12 months to see whether the person has really performed. रिव्यू बेस्ड परफॉर्मेंस का सबसे बड़ा फायदा ये होता है कि आप मंथली रिव्यूज ले सकते हैं, देन यू कैन सी वेदर दिस पर्सन इज परफॉर्मिंग रियली वेल. 3-4 महीने में ही पता चल जाता है कि इंसान काम करेगा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में या नहीं करेगा. So it's always good instead of keeping that person for a year and realizing कि उसने कुछ contribute नहीं करा. You can realize that thing in 4 months, and then you can bring in better person than that. So some people will feel that this is the hire and fire kind of strategy, but sometimes this strategy works, not really in every case, but some places where you feel that even after giving feedback, the employee is not really coming up to the level where they want it, where they has to be. अब सोचो अब 6 लोग हो क्लास में 7 लोग हो अब we keep hammering you कि पढ़ना है you know रिसर्च करना है अब 4 लोग तो करके आते हैं और 3 लोग नहीं करें. Over a period of time, what will you do is you will stop telling these 3 people to do too much. You will concentrate on the 4 students who are good. Correct? And this is what happens in the classrooms also with teachers. ऐसा नहीं होता है कि teachers don't want to put efforts. But problem ये आती है कि सामने से जब कुछ नहीं आ रहा आपको तो आप efforts डालना बंद कर देते. अब यहाँ तो टीचर और स्टूडेंट केस में तो एकदम उल्टा होता है. एम्प्लॉयर्स में तो ये होता है कि पैसे दे रहे हैं काम कराने के लिए. यहाँ तो आपने पैसे दिए हैं पढ़ाई करने के लिए और फिर भी नहीं कर रहे. So this is what we most, I feel actually awkward. Most of the classes जो हम MBA की classes लेते हैं तो बच्चे नहीं पढ़ते ना, I tell them कि माँ बाप ने पेरेंट्स ने 5-7 लाख रुपए खर्च किए तुम पे. At least give that much of attention that you sit in the class and study that much. This is very important that you know because performance appraisal and workforce planning is very similar in every area. Schools में colleges के अंदर and organizations के अंदर. We have to relate all these things so that we can have a better understanding in terms of how to get the maximum output of somebody. So this is what the organization should do in the workforce planning. Skill set properly map होना चाहिए, competency map होना चाहिए, right kind of college or school से आपको hire करना चाहिए, and then you need to assign them jobs, which is as per their interest and their skill level. That's about this case study. Very good work done. The only feedback is that you need to understand the history of industry a little bit more. Research a little bit more on that next time onwards. And then maybe I forgot to mention this time, but next time onwards I'm sure you're going to do that. All right, so this portion is over. Any other questions that you have on manpower planning? Or shall we move ahead? The next topic that we are going to cover is, again, I don't want to show you PPT today. Today we are just going to talk about it. I want to have a discussion over it. And then tomorrow I'll show you the PPT that we generally show. Right? So you can close down your copies and pen and then we can have a good discussion about this topic. So what do you understand by sourcing? First question is. Manpower planning कर लिया. We decided that how many people we have to bring in the organization. हमने सब formulas लगा लिए. हमें सब पता चल गया हमें कौन-कौन सी position, कौन-कौन से roles चाहिए. So next topic is that we now have to bring these people in the organization. And that part is called sourcing in HR language. So what did you feel about sourcing? Why are your cameras off? Tripti, Shreya, Gavita? Eating break later, we teach. Having a snacks and tea and a coffee.
Ma'am,
Yeah. Yes, yes.
I have issues so that I'm turning off my camera.
Okay, sure. But participate. At least you can talk, right? You can close down the camera.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is sourcing according to you?
Encouraging eligible applicants to apply for the job opening in the organization.
Right. That's very typical British language, yes. That's a definition from internet, I'm sure. But what in other terms? Suppose you have to bring in people. Now you are running. Let's take this example that you want to run your own organization. Right? You have to start. that organization. You have done manpower planning now that at least for this year, I need 30 people in my company to run, to get the turnover that I want, to get the profitability that I want. So now how are you going to do this 30 people, bring in these 30 people inside the organization?
Ma'am, firstly, we'll distribute the pamphlets in, eminent universities from where we could hire the interns. And then interview could be the best thing for deciding whom to bring in, because interview is quite practical. I mean, theoretical exams won't help, but yeah, practically, if you interview the interns, that's the best thing to decide.
Interview is a selection procedure. Now we're talking about sourcing. So I'll tell you the whole story how the entire thing works. So when we want to bring in the right people in the company, generally this function is called talent acquisition. To bring the right talents in the company, right? Talent acquisition is the whole function. Now talent acquisition is also divided into 3-4 parts. So number one is sourcing. Sourcing means finding out from where you are getting the right people. जैसे नाम सजेस्ट कर रहा है सोर्सिंग, तो मतलब सोर्सेज ढूंढना है, आपके चैनल्स ढूंढने कहाँ से वी कैन ब्रिंग द राइट नंबर ऑफ पीपल फॉर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. सेकंड इसके अंदर आ जाता है हायरिंग और वी आल्सो कॉल इट रिक्रूटमेंट. So hiring or recruitment is now you have identified which channel you are going to bring in, and now you want to invite them for the applications, like Gavita said, right? You have to create a scenario. You have to create the right kind of a picture for your organization or right branding for the organization that people start applying to your job posting. And then selecting and shortlisting them. This part comes under recruitment or hiring. Then there is the third part called selection and interviews. So in then selection and interviews, we finalize what kind of people we want to bring into the organization in terms of we take their test, we take their cultural test, we take aptitude test, we take interviews, we give them different scenarios to work on. Sometimes for larger organization, for critical position, we give them case studies like this one that we have given you, so that we can see what kind of answer problem solving things that they have. Right? So this is how your talent acquisition is divided into these 4 parts. So sourcing, hiring, recruitment, selection, and interview. And then final offer. Okay. And final offer पे भी नहीं खत्म होता. Then आता है orientation and onboarding to bring them in the company. Because the moment we send them an offer letter, today the major problem that HR industry is facing everywhere across, that people take the offer letter and still they don't join the organization. The major setbacks to different people is purely because हमें लगता है कि we are very highly populated country, but even if we are such highly populated company, the skills, basic skills for people to come and join the organization is missing, and that skill gap is so high. That is the reason why such courses, this YSI course or similar courses are becoming so popular, so that people can get those skills faster instead of waiting for two years of post graduation. Because 2 years post graduation में भी क्या होता है, maximum institutes में it's very theoretical. They don't give that practical exposure. So people generally lack what kind of behavior. So for example, we are working with one of the clients who's a startup. Now there is this girl who is working in HR with us, and she is just a fresher. She's just completed. She's just giving her final exams of MBA. But she got placed before her examination. Now she feels in just these 2 months that I am the wholesale in charge of HR. I know everything. And when the company hired us to give strategic importance or strategic planning to the organization in terms of HR, so she feels so offended that why somebody is there on me, even if she or he is 18 and 19 years of experience. So that is the conflict we are facing with her, and that's genuine. That happens with most of the organizations. So imagine somebody has done full-time post-graduation, still has this disability that this person doesn't want to learn and grow faster. We are giving her that opportunity that while hand-holding you for a year or 2 years, you will be able to learn so many things faster than you are going to do what you are doing. And this skill gap is so high. What we learn in academia, what we have to actually use in corporate, the gap is very, very big. And that is the reason why majority of the organizations like Infosys, Tata, uh, now this HCL people also, Shipkeda, Bajaj, Munjals, Hero Industry, all these people have started their own universities, right? The whole purpose why they have started their own universities and their own internal training institute is like Punjab National Bank has a huge training institute, very big, large, that they done. So they give trainings to these people. They hire freshers, PO exams के बाद ले लेते हैं, and then they give them rigorous training. कैसे करना है काम, how to do practical things, how to do problem solving, decision making कैसे करनी है, analytical skills को कैसे use करना है. So all these things put into practicality, and that is what we are also going to do. Theory तो अच्छा है, theory तो see, because self learning में theory पढ़ी जा सकती है. You can have the books, you can read. Practical exposure, it is very difficult till the time you are working in the organization or you have that setup. So we are going to give you that. So now the sourcing, hiring, talent acquisition, entire part, I am going to give you practical problems to solve. We have 40-50 positions open right now with various companies. I am going to give you those positions. You have to really work hard and find out good number of resumes for those positions. Then I will give you that training to do the interviews also. How are you going to ask them questions? What questions you are asking? How are you actually checking their aptitude, whether they have that learning ability or not? So this part of this entire thing we are going to do purely practical basis. So tomorrow's PPT, because tomorrow is Sunday, we can't include you in sourcing. But this entire week from Monday to next Sunday, you are going to be on the job with us. Everyone. And if you have to learn this thing very fast, all the tricks and things, so you have to actually put your effort in. Okay, so that is the whole thing. So sourcing, recruitment, hiring, selection, and onboarding. These four things are really, really very important to learn, because after workforce planning, this is the area where you are actually dealing with people. You are talking to different people as a part of the representative of the organization. So the organization का brand है, वो आपके ऊपर रहता है कि what you are speaking, what you are talking to them, what exactly are the words that you are taking out, how much roles and responsibility you understand as an HR. That is the reason why we always say that no matter what industry, when you know your product really well, product or services, whatever the company is involved into, then you can actually bring in the right amount of people, right skilled people inside the organization. So as we are talking about, let's take 5-10 minutes break. I think 7:10. Then we will join, and then we'll continue about sourcing in detail. Okay.
Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
Let's connect in for 10 minutes. Right, everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's begin. This is how the talent acquisition cycle works in the organization. Because I'll just show you the PPT right away. You're back, Garvita, Purva. Yeah, Purva. All right, so you can see the PPT.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is how the talent acquisition cycle starts in an organization. This starts with first identification and understanding. So identification and understanding position, what kind of roles we are going to bring in, we have already done in workforce planning, right? We created the job analysis, we understood roles, what skill set we want, what eligibility criteria we have written and talked about this thing. Now next step is sourcing. So sourcing is finding out the channels through which you can recruit, you can hire, you can actually get good number of people or resumes. So what are the sourcing channels that you know? Have you ever applied for a job? कहीं कभी job apply किया है या कहीं पर कभी देखा है? कभी भी नहीं. Sourcing का कोई channel नहीं पता है. Last time तो बोल रहे थे naukri.com and all that. है ना? Last time तो बात कर रहे थे. क्या क्या होते हैं? जॉब पोर्टल्स होते हैं. तो सोर्सिंग चैनल्स आर जॉब पोर्टल्स. जॉब पोर्टल्स कौन कौन से हैं? जैसे नौकरी हो गया, टाइम्स नाउ हो गया, मॉन्स्टर हो गया. सो दीज आर आल्सो चैनल ऑफ सोर्सिंग, जहां से आपको राइट कैंडिडेट का डेटाबेस मिल जाता है या रिज्यूमे मिल जाते हैं एज पर योर पोजीशन. देन सेकंड आता है एडवर्टाइजमेंट. व्हेन यू पुट योर जॉब एडवर्टाइजमेंट, तो जैसे आप न्यूज़पेपर में देखते हो जॉब एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स बहुत सारे, वो सब चीजें. उसके अलावा भी जॉब एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स लाइक व्हाट यू आर राइटिंग, व्हाट यू वांट एग्जैक्टली फॉर योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड यू आर गेटिंग इट. Let me show you an example of job advertisement. You can see this screen now. So these are the examples of job advertisements. Looking for creative persons, content writing, advertising, marketing, video editor, right? Let's take just one. You can read this one. Vacancy announcement, position assistant manager internal audit. तो किस तरीके से जॉब एडवर्टीजमेंट बनता है एनी जॉब पोजीशन को एडवर्टाइज करने के लिए. फर्स्ट वी राइट द क्वालिफिकेशन एक्सपीरियंस, एग्जैक्टली क्या चाहिए हमें. लाइक इसमें लिखा है फाइनेंस, एमबीए फाइनेंस, सीसीए या एमसीए. इंडिविजुअल्स क्या क्या उन्होंने किया हुआ है, कौन सी क्वालिफिकेशन और इंटरनल ऑडिट का एक्सपीरियंस है या नहीं है. देन 1 year ऑफ रेलेवेंट एक्सपीरियंस, राइट, आउट ऑफ विच at least 3 years in research, right? Then job description, exactly क्या role play करना है उस इंसान ने इस कंपनी के अंदर. Then salary as per the market, या salary range जो भी mention किया हुआ इन्होंने 50,000 to 60,000 rupees. Then minimum age criteria and application process, कि कहाँ पर आप अपने resumes भेज सकते हैं. So that address और email ID, and then the organization address. You will see most of these job advertisement would be
Ma'am?
like that. Hanji.
Ma'am, so is such means is it a work of HR to create the advertisement?
Yeah. You will provide everything to the person. See, generally अगर ये मीडिया में आ रही है जिस तरीके से ये है कि न्यूज़पेपर ऐड बनना है, तो न्यूज़पेपर ऐड वाला आपको नंबर ऑफ वो बता देता है, वर्ड्स कितने लगेंगे, बिकॉज वर्ड बाय जितने भी लेटर्स जा रहे हैं, जो भी हम लिख रहे हैं एबीसीडी, उसका कॉस्ट लगता है. Every letter has a cost when we are putting an advertisement in newspapers. So they will give you various things कि अगर इतने बाई इतने का ऐड है तो उसमें कितने आप वर्ड लिख सकते हो, कितना कुछ लिख सकते हो. So then it's your creativity कि आप कितना creatively उस पर लिख सकते हो. So not just HR, जो internal communication department होते हैं marketing के अंदर organization में, they help in this area. Because कंटेंट राइटिंग में वो लोग थोड़े से अच्छे होते हैं शॉर्ट लिखने में और किस तरीके से उसको और क्रिस्प और अच्छा बनाया जा सकता है. बट कंटेंट एचआर का आप ही दोगे ना, क्या स्किल सेट है, क्या एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया है, क्या रोल्स रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी प्ले करने हैं. सो ये सब चीजें आप दोगे, देन दे विल डिजाइन इट एंड सेंड इट टू यू. Many good newspapers have this facility that they design your advertisement in a nice manner. और आपको 2-3 ऑप्शंस दिखा देते हैं डिजाइन करके कि ऐसा प्रिंट आएगा. So then you can choose. So for example, अब जैसे ये छोटे वाली ऐड है जो ऊपर दिख रही है येलो में, this looking for creative person. ये वाला, this one which is on the right now. So इसका cost somewhere around आएगा, डिपेंड करता है कौन से पेज में आ रहा है ये और कौन से न्यूज़पेपर में, उसके हिसाब से. इतनी बड़ी ऐड का खर्चा लगभग हर एक बार जब ये जाएगी 25 से 30 हज़ार रुपये आ जाता है. अगर मेन जैसे न्यूज़पेपर्स हैं टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया या उसमें जैसे टाइम्स एक्शन में आना है, इस वाले में टाइम्स एक्शन के अंदर ये छोटे छोटे वाले तो इस नॉट रियली मोर देन 5,000-6,000 रुपये. बट जब बड़ा न्यूज़पेपर के अंदर टाइम्स एक्शन के अंदर आप फ्रेम मेजर 2-3 पेजेस में लेते हो, देन योर कॉस्ट कम्स इन लैक्स. 3 लाख रुपए की, 2 लाख रुपए की एक एडवर्टाइजमेंट है. एंड देन नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स इट रिपीट्स, the number of money multiplies. So this is about print media. But good thing is that now people are not just relying on this print media because hardly anybody reads newspaper these days except for the government job, because government के बहुत सारे आते हैं उसके अंदर. So the best part is to showcase them on job portals or LinkedIn, social media. So let's see LinkedIn में कैसे job posting होती है. So see, these are the examples. So LinkedIn में, because there is no such limit कि कितने भी words जाने हैं, कितना वो जाना है, so you can create your advertisements very creatively. Then you can put posters, you can create beautiful creations of using your logo, different kind of things that you can create. So like, you know, this person has done this blue color one, you can see. It has a different kind of things. And this yellow one, see, looking for CSR manager, join team. Apply now. Let's see some creative examples. Developer, budding botanist. It's not in our language. Chief meme officer. Now it would be for a creative company. जहाँ memes बनाते हैं. So then you know this is. Just read what is written. We at Bud Light have created the perfect hard seltzer. It's 5 times rated, 100 calories, and comes in 4 delicious flavors. But we know how hard seltzer is only as good as it means. And unfortunately, our memes are trash. We need someone who can change that for us, someone who can pull it out for us. It's a privilege. So skills क्या चाहिए उन्हें Photoshop, but they want chief meme officer. So imagine the kind of creativity they are putting. This is another one. Are you awesome? We are looking for talent individuals to join our team at Talent Sales Executive. या हायरिंग, बिग डेटा एनालिटिक्स, सिंपल सा जा रहा है। उसमें आपने सीवी पे अपना एडवर्टाइजमेंट पे अपना ईमेल आईडी दे दिया। सम कंपनीज गिव फोन नंबर्स आल्सो, उनका ऑफिशियल फोन नंबर होता होगा, उसके लिए दे जनरली गिव दैट। सो टोटली डिपेंड्स अपॉन हाउ क्रिएटिव यू कैन। सो कलर्स के साथ प्ले करना, या हायरिंग इंसर्ट जॉब पोजीशन है कुछ भी आप डाल सकते हो इसके अंदर। ये तो रेडीमेड पोस्टर्स जिससे आप अपने आप ही काम कर सकते हैं। This is how you can actually create different job posting for social media. Now LinkedIn पे जो जाता है थोड़ा सा professional stuff जाता है. Now similar things if you want to create for Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, then it can also go more, creative. Color combinations can differ, something where you can attract. I saw one advertisement where उन्होंने सबसे top line पे लिखा था sex, फिर उसके बाद लिखा this is just to attend, have your attention, और नीचे job position थी, normal job position, and it was on Facebook. So it's up to you how you want to get the attention of the people. It must be some young company, so जहाँ पर इस तरीके से ये सब चीजें चलता होगा. So it is not advisable to do all these things, but just saying that creativity wise, we can actually use so many different things to have the attention of right kind of people. So imagine people who had seen those advertisements, जिसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, so they must have received many applications just purely because of the creativity that they put. So it's up to you how you can actually drive people towards your company and not affecting the brand of your organization. उनका brand उनको इस तरीके से करने की सलाह देगा. Many companies may not give that advice to write such words, but then you can attract them by writing something beautiful, that if you are awesome, we are looking for you. If you are creative and you have the skills, right skills, we are looking for you. Something like that. So best is to research. Really very important part of creating something good is to research what is going on these days and how you can actually contribute towards it. Right? So you हमारा social media channel पे job posting करना, advertisements पे job posting करना, and what are other channels you think of? और क्या हो सकते हैं? Print media हो गया, social media हो गया. Then आता है आपका campus recruitment, जिसमें आप डायरेक्टली कैंपस तक जा रहे हो. सो एमबीए कॉलेजेस, फ्रेशर इंस्टीट्यूट्स, हॉस्पिटैलिटी में है तो होटल मैनेजमेंट इंस्टीट्यूट्स. So finding about if your company is into fashion designing and all that, so going to the fashion designing institute like NID and NIFT. Different kind of things. So you need to be aware about your product. So first thing is very important that you are aware about what product services your company is selling. Detailed. Second is very importantly is to know the content of what is the job posting, which means eligibility criteria क्या है, fresher है, experienced है, किस तरीके के जॉब को हम देख रहे हैं. So like content writers, social media people, digital marketing people, you can easily find them out on Facebook, Instagram. But if there are senior positions like chief marketing officer, chief human resource officer, anything, leadership position, या sales head, या marketing head, then you have to look towards LinkedIn or Twitter, more serious platforms. Another sourcing का वो जाता है channel is placement agencies, consultancies या placement agencies. You can share the job posting with them, then you are giving an outsourcing work to them so that they can bring the right kind of people. So that sourcing channel is basically handed over to somebody else. Many organizations also use government agencies for this. So government agencies में क्या है? Government of India ने हर एक state के अंदर, हर एक city, major cities के अंदर, what do you call it, placement agencies बनाई हैं, जहाँ पर जो भी unemployed लोग हैं वो अपना नाम register करा सकते हैं. And then these people, though it does not work very efficiently in India, but outside India this works very efficiently. जो गवर्नमेंट प्रोवाइडेड सर्विसेज है, इंडिया में कम काम करती है. जनरली लोग पियॉन्स और जूनियर पोजीशंस के लिए वहां से ले जाते हैं लोगों को, बट फॉर सीनियर पोजीशन इट डजंट वर्क. आउटसाइड इंडिया फॉर एवरीथिंग इट वर्क्स. स्टेट वाइज एजेंसीज होती है जो गवर्नमेंट ही रन करती है. So they create a database for how many positions, how many people, So they try to fill all government or contractual job by these people who are unemployed. So you can also utilize that. That is also a good idea. So these are major sourcing challenges. Anything else that will come up to you, come to your mind, do let me know. Or you can also search about these things. इसके बाद आते हैं सोर्सिंग के बाद स्क्रीनिंग. So how will you screen now? आपके पास आपने जॉब पोस्टिंग करी थी, बहुत सारे रिज्यूमेस सीवीज इकट्ठे हो गए, अब आप क्या करोगे? आपके पास 2 पोजीशन है और रिज्यूमेस आ गए हैं 50. हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू डू? 50 पर आई एम स्टिल सेइंग लो. जनरली एक पोजीशन के लिए 200-250 सीवी इजीली इकट्ठे हो जाते हैं, बहुत इजीली. Like you will see, I'm not sure if you are connected with me on LinkedIn or not. So we have just posted a job for a CA. Where we require CA, सब कुछ लिखा हुआ है, इसमें एक्सपीरियंस इतना चाहिए, दिल्ली के लिए चाहिए. फिर भी बहुत सारे ऐसे लोगों ने कर दिया जो नॉन सीए हैं. दे अप्लाई कि चलो कोई बात नहीं, शायद हमारा नंबर लग जाए, किसी और पोजीशन के लिए मिल जाए. लेस एक्सपीरियंस वालों ने भी डाल दिया कि शायद हो सकता है लेस एक्सपीरियंस में मिल जाए. दिल्ली से बाहर वालों ने भी करा दिया कि चलो we'll go to Delhi and work. So you know these things happen. So that's why you collect too many CVs instead of. So then what you need to do as an HR is, or as a recruiter is, you need to do the screening part. So many organizations have started doing automatic system, which is called ATS. So ATS is a software which is installed in your computer in the company system, and then what it does is it helps you screen the right candidates. तो आपने जॉब पोजीशन उसमें फीड किया हुआ है ऑलरेडी, एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया सब कुछ, वो अपने आप कीवर्ड्स मैच करके आपको बता देगा कि 250 में से ये 20 अच्छे हैं या ये 25 आर गुड इनफ. देन यू डू मैनुअल स्क्रीनिंग. थोड़ा सा काम कम हो गया, तो 250 से 25 पर आ गए. So that 25 series as a nature you have to screen manually, see कि experience कितना है, qualities क्या-क्या हैं, because we just don't see keywords match. As a human, that's why human resource is called still human resource कि हम अपना थोड़ा humanity लेकर आते हैं. When we see कि culturally हमारे साथ fit हो गया नहीं, वो ATS generally fit नहीं कर सकता है. We will check and talk to them. We will see कि क्या aptitude है, क्या background है. So all those things. So some companies have this criteria that they want throughout 50 first divisioners. Throughout first divisioners, मतलब 10th, 12th, graduation, post graduation, every time you need to have at least 60% marks. So automatically अगर उनका ऐसा कुछ है criteria, तो automatically जो भी series आते हैं वो reject कर देते हैं ATS series. So ATS helps in doing all these things which can be done by a machine. फिर आप मैनुअल स्क्रीनिंग करते हैं to see whether the cultural fitment, aptitude fitment, learning ability है या नहीं है उसमें. So this particular screening is called initial interviews also. So usually when we do initial interviews, the first round of interviews, usually we do it on telephone using that call or video call, just to see how the communication is of the person. What kind of communication skills that person has, what kind of personality person has, what are the hobbies, interests, what are the strengths, weaknesses. So just to identify, जैसे हमारी organization है उसके अंदर इसका fitment हो भी पाएगा या नहीं culturally, not what do you call it, not according to the qualifications basically, not according to the technical competencies, but more towards the behavioral competency. We will see and try. So behavioral competencies are very important. कि anger कितना है, temperament ठीक है या नहीं है, गुस्सा तो नहीं आता है, ज़्यादा aggressive तो नहीं है nature में. So all these basic things you will check. And you will say कि हम कैसे इतनी सारी चीजें एक इंटरव्यू में चेक कर सकेंगे. So then you have to ask, your questions should be framed in a manner जिसके आंसर्स आपको पहले से पता है कि यही आंसर होगा तभी ये करेक्ट है, जैसे मैच होता होगा, राइट. सो दैट क्वेश्चन आंसर इज बेसिकली व्हाट सिलेक्शन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. So sourcing is a very big challenge in India. Screening is not so much of a challenge. Again, the initial interviews is big challenge क्योंकि maximum HRs are not trained in taking that initial interviews. क्या करते हैं छोटे छोटे बच्चों को डायरेक्ट फ्रॉम कॉलेज ले आते हैं, वो कहते हैं कि चलो इस जॉब पे लग जाओ, फाइंड आउट द सीरीज, कॉल देम एंड फाइंड आउट। तो जनरली लोग क्या करते हैं, मैक्सिमम एचआर्स व्हाट दे डू इन कंपनीज इज क्वालिफिकेशन चेक कर लेंगे कि ठीक है नहीं है, कम्युनिकेशन चेक कर लेंगे, इजी थिंग्स, बट कल्चरल फिटमेंट चेक करना इज द मोस्ट डिफिकल्ट। वहीं हम फॉल्टर हो जाते हैं। और मैक्सिमम एम्प्लॉइज who leave your organization in first 6 months are people who are not culturally fit. So that is very important. Now, because of now you've hired somebody, imagine the cost you have put in sourcing. सब कॉस्ट ही है, जॉब पोस्टिंग किया, डिजाइन किया, प्रिंट कराने भेजा या वट एवर वे यू आर यूजिंग, इट्स अ कॉस्ट। नौकरी 2.5 लाख रुपए साल का आता है, एक हमें सब्सक्रिप्शन लेना होता है naukri.com, so it's 2.5 lakhs for a company. So अगर 2.5 lakhs पे कर भी आप 25 सीरीज भी नहीं निकाल पा रहे नौकरी, so that means it's a waste. So that is how the cost is basically discovered in HR. फिर screening is a cost, आपने ATS लगाया हुआ है, ATS कितना स्क्रीनिंग कर पा रहा है, कितना नहीं कर पा रहा है, वो भी डिपेंड करता है कि आपने कितना अच्छे से अपना जॉब एनालिसिस कराया, जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन कितना नीटली, कितना अच्छे से लिखा है। The initial interview is obviously a cost. You're calling 30 people, 40 people, जिसमें से 5 फोन उठाएंगे, उनसे बात करोगे, then again you will call those people जिन्होंने फोन नहीं उठाया या उनको कॉल आएगा। So it's a process, but it's a very joyful process because you tend to meet so many people. If you love talking to people, if you have that kind of personality where you want to really meet different kind of breeds every day, so then it's a wonderful opportunity. That's why I personally call sourcing and screening as a marketing function in HR. It's more of a sales function. You are selling your company to some candidates. जैसे अपना product services बेचते हैं sales में, similar thing HR people are doing, selling the organization, अपना brand किसी और बाहर कर बेचते हैं। फिर इनिशियल इंटरव्यूज के बाद हमने यहाँ इस साइकिल में फाइनल इंटरव्यू लिख दिया, पर इनिशियल और फाइनल इंटरव्यू के बीच में भी 2-3 राउंड्स हो सकते हैं, again depending upon organization to organization. Some organization have tests, psychometric test, aptitude test, cultural test. It can be written test generally to see in level. Then there can be another round of interview, जो कि सेल्स हेड, मार्केटिंग हेड, जिसकी भी पोजीशन है उसका हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट होगा, एंड देन अगेन फाइनल इंटरव्यू जिसके अंदर आप एचआर और सीनियर लेवल पर्सन टू दी नेगोशिएशंस, सैलरी नेगोशिएशंस। दे आल्सो अगेन चेक कि कल्चरली कितना ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर काम करेगा नहीं करेगा। तो 2-3 राउंड्स इन इंटरव्यूज में होते ही होते हैं, इंक्लूडिंग द टेस्ट। सो दैट इज इट। देन आता है आपका फीडबैक। So whatever you have taken in interview, it's time as an HR to give the feedback to the candidates. Suppose आपने 15 लोगों का CV स्क्रीन किया था, इंटरव्यू के टाइम तक पहुंचते पहुंचते सिर्फ 6 रह गए। अब 6 में से पोजीशन 1 है, सो अपने बाकी 4 को फीडबैक दे दिया कि मैं 2 सेलेक्ट किए हैं अभी फिलहाल, रेस्ट 4 आर नॉट सुटेबल। So now these 2 people are called shortlisted. 2 आपने शॉर्टलिस्ट कर दिए, इनका सबका बैकग्राउंड वेरिफिकेशन हो गया, सब कुछ हो गया, फिर इनमें से जो ज्यादा सुटेबल है उसको आपने ऑफर किया। फ्रॉम ऑफर टू गेट द पर्सन ऑन बोर्ड देयर इज ऑलवेज अ टाइम गैप। आपने सपोज आज ऑफर दिया है फाइनलाइज करके 18th जून को, बिकॉज नाउ पीपल वुड बी सर्विंग नोटिस पीरियड इन अदर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, वहां पर अपना रिजिग्नेशन देंगे, नोटिस पीरियड सर्व करेंगे, तो वहां से निकलने में 1 महीना लगता है मिनिमम। Now this 1 month is a gap कि आपने तो हायर कर लिया पर वो उसी कंपनी में है, अभी से 1 महीने में कुछ भी हो सकता है। That employee can change the mind of not joining a company. That person can go and give more interviews, get better offers. आपने suppose 50,000 का दिया, हो सकता है उसको 55 का कहीं और मिल जाए इस 1 महीने में। So these are the risks that every HR department undergoes. So इसको minimize करने के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं? We try and get in touch with that person for that month. We always remain in touch, right? Either through emails, WhatsApp messages, something or the other, just to find out कि कैसे चल रहा है, have you given notice period, can you submit the resignation copy to us, I'm sending you the forms, at least fill the forms of joining and all that, कुछ भी, you can just create that Or if you have some company reports which has come, so send those reports to that person. हमारा देखो इस कंपनी का हमारी कंपनी का नाम इस ब्रांड में आया है, इस मैगजीन में आया है, people are talking about these things. Or there is some literature I want to send you, go through this literature, it will help you when you will come on your first day. So something, again this period is called engagement period, when you have to keep your potential employees engaged so that they don't lose interest in you. और चांसेस ये होते हैं कि जब आप इस गैप टाइम पीरियड पे एचआर कंटिन्यूअसली टच में रहता है एम्प्लॉय के, so there are chances that they don't really, even if they get good offers, they still prefer your organization because you have shown them that you care for the employee. बाकी अगर बहुत मनी माइंडेड होते हैं तो लोग चले जाते हैं, so that is always a risk. That's why we keep shortlisted at least 2 or 3 candidates कि एक जाए तो next 2 में से किसी को चले. That's the whole cycle of talent acquisition. फिर आता है आपका joining formality, which is you can see in orange. The joining formality is basically forms of PF, PSI. You give them coding training, कि क्या क्या उनको function में काम करना होगा, what exactly is the role that they have to play. Company की policies का introduction. So that 2 onboarding days are very important days for people in the organization. That's all your talent acquisition cycle. That's how it works. Alright. Any questions so far in this cycle? Very good. So I'm going to give you an exercise. Right? We will do this exercise. So the exercise is create a very creative job posting for the position of sales.
Ma'am, could you repeat?
Create a job posting for the position of sales manager in a media company. Job posting has to go on social media, not for advertising, newspaper advertising. We have 10 minutes time left right now, 10-15 minutes. You can use the help of internet in creating something new. You can use as much as creative tool as possible. You know Photoshop, you know how to use Canva, or you can use PPT. If you want to use anything, you can use that. आता है कोई ऐसा वाला टूल आता है यूज करना? Any creative tool? Canva यूज किया?
Yes, ma'am, I used, but as of now, I don't have it in my PC.
So it's a free of cost thing. The basic thing is, so you can at least try and use it. See, the more you will use these creative things, na Canva हो गया या Photoshop का basics वाला, या maybe even PPTs you can create. Microsoft PPT पे भी बना सकते हो. So it will give you much better option of using color schemes, font size, because advertisements पे ये सब चीजें बहुत मैटर करती हैं कि कौन से font पे ज़्यादा attract होता है, कौन सा clear जाता है, कौन सी color schemes लोगों को ज़्यादा attract करते हैं. Have you ever thought कि why Facebook, Twitter, major these brands are in blue color? That is a soothing color. If we see it, we feel automatically attracted towards it. So जो भी brand create करती है organization अपने, the color schemes जो भी use करती है, there is a thought process behind this. So a little bit of that understanding is very essential. कि कौन से color schemes use करें, किस तरीके का. So that is why I'm saying if you can do some creative tool, it would be wonderful.
Ma'am, so right now we have to prepare on Canva.
Anyway, Canva, PPT, any other tool that you know.
Okay.
पेपर से बना के क्या मजा है? Social media is an assignment. So even if you can create a rough draft, that is okay. I'm here if you have any questions. Yeah? I'm just on mute. Any help required? And Vanchika?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done.
Show me. How will you show? How have you
Ma'am,
created?
I wrote it actually.
Then click the picture and send it on WhatsApp. I'll go through it.
Okay. It's a bit messy, ma'am. Can I explain it verbally?
I will not be able to see it. No? It's okay. You can send it to me on personal window. That's okay. No need to send in the group if you don't want to. But send it to me. I'll go through it.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, ma'am, I've also wrote this.
It's okay. Click the photo and send it to me.
Okay,
But the
ma'am.
assignment is continue then. I will consider it incomplete till the time you have not created it in a PPT or any creativity. So by tomorrow you will then complete it. I will go through what you are sending today. I'll give you my go ahead that this is on the right line. Then try and put it in the PPT format. If you cannot use any other tool, at least PPT to use kari sakta. Use such pictures and all, anything, any color combinations and create that job. Apurva? Rakita? कितना रह गया?
Ma'am, I have also written it. I can show like through the camera like this. Hello?
Yeah.
Like I have written it in this way. If it is visible.
Click the picture one way and then send it to me.
Okay, ma'am.
Much better. It is a little darker, so it will not be able to. I will not be able to see. I will give you my go ahead right away, and then you can create it by tomorrow. Before class, you can create it in the PPT. Any
Ma'am,
visuals.
means we'll send this one which we have made it right now, or the
Yeah.
Canva or PPT one.
Right now, send this one. Whatever
Okay.
you have created.
Okay, ma'am.
Want to make changes, so then I will send you the whatever changes you will have to require to make into those, and then you can create it in the proper form.
Okay, ma'am.
Kavita, done?
Ma'am, I've sent it, but it's not created.
It's okay. That's all right. I am giving you one full day to be creative. Tomorrow is Sunday. You can show your creativity. Right? So hopefully you got these things, right? Importantly, that once you have written down your job analysis very clearly, it is very easy to write these job postings. Right? When you are aware that what exactly are you looking in the client, in the candidate, like their qualifications, skill set, their little bit responsibilities. You cannot write all the huge roles and responsibility in small advertisements, but whatever you can, it's really important that you should. Right. So now tomorrow's class, we will be doing sourcing online. So I will teach you how to source through LinkedIn. I will teach you how you can really source good candidates from job portals and other social media platforms. Right? What you have to do is you have to come with at least one position that you want to source. Okay. Think about one position, one industry, something, whatever is there in your mind in terms of identification or job analysis. Then we will start sourcing these things tomorrow. So I'll teach you sourcing and screening tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, I had sent it to you. Can you repeat the assignment you just said?
The assignment I said is one, you have to change this assignment into your creative PPT, correct? That's one. The second one is you have to think about a good position, any industry. Then I will show you live how we can actually search about these jobs. How can we source these candidates through LinkedIn and other job portals. शिखा का आ गया है Good. So okay, then see you tomorrow, 6 o'clock.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Have a great evening.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. You
Have a
too.
good Sunday.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.